Morning, everybody. Hope everybody is well. Happy Tuesday for those that are here live. Happy whatever day it is, week that you're listening, wherever you're listening, however you're listening. We thank you so much for listening. What an incredible interesting. Great to be with you. We've been talking about the idea of energy. Tomorrow, for those just as a public service now, tomorrow is the day before Yom Kippur. We will, with God's help, have a show. It'll be a little bit more focused on the holiday. Everyone's welcome to attend, just letting you know, giving you a heads up. So we've been talking about the idea of energy. I want to continue this conversation. Yesterday, we sort of spoke about how we have to be able to get a sense of where our energy is and start to be aware of it, right? One of the great, if you really look at the development of positive psychology, there's a great psychologist named Martin Seligman. I believe he is considered to be the father of positive psychology. He gave a great talk in which he said that traditionally no one ever studied positive psychology. Like if you look traditionally at psychology and you went to like all the texts, it was all the stuff wrong with people, right? Like psychology was diagnosing all the illnesses. And he spoke about how for generations, scientists were uncomfortable creating a science around that which is intangible, which is not a scientist's way of seeing the world. The scientific method is much more grounded in measurements to think about things like positivity and just intangibles and feelings and emotions. And over the course of the past few years, decades, it developed, and people started to realize that even if I can't measure it, it's real. And what started to happen for those that are watching this, or if you're a part of this, is that people started to develop new tools to measure things that which was not otherwise measured. So you can't really measure feelings, but maybe you can. Maybe it's not as accurate and as pinpoint as measuring something like on a spreadsheet, but you can get further than just, I don't know how I feel. Right? This is big in the area of companies. You can't really measure the talents of somebody else, but you can get closer than just like, I don't know, a gut feeling. And as you start to explore how to get into the world of an intangible, you come up with your methods. And they may not be perfect, but they're better than nothing, right? And that's how it develops. And that's how science develops in areas that are not hard science. You create methods that never existed before, that may not be an exact science, but it gets you closer. You go to a doctor, a lot of times he's fishing for things. It's not an exact science for how someone's feeling. You may have to go for tests, God forbid, or for an x-ray, but he's fishing. He's trying to put pieces together. He is creating a certain, if you will, a litmus test to what could be right and wrong based on intangible, based on what you're saying, based on how you're saying it, based on who you are. A lot of the development of being able to grow in areas that are intangible comes to our ability to create some measure to something that is otherwise unmeasurable. We're into the world of energy. And in the world of energy, a lot of what is blocking us is that it's an intangible. What we were talking about yesterday is this idea that when we're able to start to measure it, we can start to grow in it. So when we're honest with our own energy levels, our own empowerment levels, and we're honest and we want to get like that number down. We want to understand how much empowerment we bring to the day. We want to understand how much empowerment people see of us by just creating something. A metric of some sort, a score, and then starting to watch when that goes up and when that goes down. By just creating some metric in our own minds, we're beginning the process of creating something that didn't exist before. We're creating from nothing, right? most of us, I'm sure, unless you've not done this before, most of us don't go through our day and we hit some wall and we dip in our energy and go, wait. I think I'm a 4 now. Who does that? Most of us don't go to bed at the end of the day and go, where is my energy out today? Like it sounds weird. It sounds unscientific, but it's anything but. It's the beginning of creating a new measurement that you can use to help you figure out how to increase your output of energy. And even if it's unscientific, the fact that you have it allows you to track it. And you don't got to become, you don't got to get to 100. Even if you get up 5-10%, that's a huge difference over the course of your week, over the course of a life, and over the course really of a relationship. Think about a parent putting in 10% more energy into a kid, and then multiply that kid's time with the parent for 10 years. Kid's going to be a different kid. The kid's going to deal with life differently. The kid's going to have different confidence levels. So really where we're up to and we left off, and where I want to make sure that everyone's doing, is putting some metric to it. Like, do the work. The show is not just about rah, rah, rah. Like, do the work. And it will make we'll make such a difference. Right? It'll make such a difference. Just one service announcement as we do this. I just got a note from our incredible producer, Judy. We are not having the show tomorrow. So we will come back on Friday with God's help, just as an FYI. There'll be no show tomorrow. Okay, let's talk a little bit more. What is it that changes our energy? How does it flow? How does it go? So let's begin to delve together. Our energy is inside us. Okay, I'm simplifying, right? But okay, let's just talk in simple forms. Our energy is, let's say, inside us. If you can just put a picture in your mind, even though it's not really accurate, because your soul's not in your heart, your soul's in your head, right? Your soul's not anywhere, but not anywhere physical, that is, but it's for the most part in your head. But just for the sake of visualization, let's visualize together. Assume that your soul is in your body, let's say, it's in your heart. And what you're trying to accomplish is to take the energy out of your heart and bring it out into the world. The pathway between your heart, if you will, your soul, and the world is your mind. And how your mind is situated will change how your energy is accessed. So I'll give you an example. Let's assume you're going through your day. And you wake up in the morning, and let's assume that, you did something yesterday. You ran an event. You spoke. You did something that you made yourself vulnerable. You did a project, whatever. Or you woke up in the morning and you got dressed nicely and you feel good about yourself. You feel like you look good and you dressed, whatever it is. You wake up in the morning and you start your day and you think about the night before, and just think of whatever was relevant to your life. You did something difficult last night, whatever it is that you care about, and you thought it went well, and you wake up in the morning and you start your day. And as you start your day, you can feel your energy levels, your empowerment levels to be high. You got positive feedback. The thing that you cooked was people loved. The thing that you're wearing today, you're so excited about. The project that you did, the work that you did. You worked hard for a religion, right? You went to Rosh Hashanah and you prayed hard, and you woke up the next day and you're like, that was awesome. I did it. I delivered. I feel great. What's happening is you're in a state of empowerment because of something that's not real, right? It was yesterday. So it's not in your head anymore. It's not in the world anymore. It's just in your memory. What took place yesterday isn't in the world. It's in your memory, right? And so your brain remembers yesterday. It doesn't exist. right? The impact may exist, but the actual thing doesn't exist. Because as soon as you're done with it, it doesn't exist, right? Existence is only that which is taking place right now. What took place 5 minutes ago doesn't exist. It may still be impacting the world, but it doesn't exist. So you wake up in the morning and what's happening is you're going to your memory and your memory says, last night was a hard, great, wonderful night, and you should be proud of yourself. Okay? Let's assume. It was an event. Let's say it was a simcha, right? It was a celebration. You had a bar mitzvah or a wedding, whatever. You feel great. It worked out perfectly. Everything is great. You're grateful. You feel like you've accomplished. And if you wake up in the morning and you take a snapshot of your mind, what's happening is all cylinders are flowing. The energy, the empowerment is flowing. You are emboldened based on your actions yesterday. Your memory is bringing up all the right images for you. And as you start to look into the world, as you start to project the next move, your brain turns to its memory and says, well, what can we do next? And you have this interchange between future and past that is one that is empowered. And the past empowers you to engage in the future. So you're going to engage in your day. You're going to engage in what you're doing. And what you're going to use as your internal inspiration of engagement is a past memory that took place the night before. And because it was positive, and because you extended yourself and you got the feedback, because you felt good about yourself, whatever it is, whatever positive emotion you had that is now nestled in a memory, you are going to draw, if you will, into your projection. And you're going to project that the next hour, day, half a day is going to be amazing. The next time you meet this person, the next time you go back into the room, right? Last night you presented in front of your colleagues and they loved it. And now you're going to work and you're going to project that when you walk into work, it's going to be a welcome experience, right? You worked hard at a holiday, you prayed well. You're going to project that the next day you stand before God, he's going to be like, welcome back, man. That was phenomenal. Right? You get dressed, you wear something nice, maybe you're trying to lose weight, you go out into your, wherever you go and you project, you're going to be like, wow, you look amazing, right? Past memories lead to an emotion that drives the future projection. Good word, Rob. Momentum, right? That's what momentum is. It's momentum. Momentum is building on something. Like a locomotive. I feel, I do. I feel, I do. I feel, I do. Right? And in many ways, that's how lots of life works. Right? You should be always in what we call an upward spiral. Right? You did something, you got the feedback, it was positive, you go to the next thing. It's a little harder, but you have the emotions and the memories. And then when you hit the sacrifice, you know that you've been sacrificing before. So you tell your brain, I can do it. I did it yesterday, remember? And then you do that, and then you do it a little harder and a little harder, and then you just keep on circling up. The energy, if you will, has open valves so that it helps you into the next stage. Okay. You're walking down the street, and you see somebody who was there last night. Whatever last night was for you, a wedding, a prayer, a presentation, whatever. The person goes, ooh, you okay? And you go, what do you mean? What do you mean what I mean? You okay? You're like, yeah, I'm fine. What's up? You're like, no, because last night was a little, I don't know, I'd be embarrassed. Embarrassed? I thought the event went well. I thought the wedding was beautiful. I thought, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I just remember what happened in that moment. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that moment. Yeah. You said that, or you did that, or that happened, or you didn't know about that. And you know that you said all the wrong prayers. You know that you weren't supposed to do that. Do you know that what happened in the room over? Were you aware? Do you know that when you spoke, there was someone in the room that whatever? Do you know when you presented in front of your colleagues, there's a person in the back who had that idea last week? People were laughing afterwards. Do you know that the chicken was rubber and people were just like beside themselves that there's no food, whatever it is. Some person whispers into your ear the thing that went wrong that you weren't aware of that is mortifying. Pause. Now, how do you feel? Where do you want to go? Want to run back into the house? You're wearing that? Oh, yeah, it's nice. Would you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I spoke. A bunch of people were talking in the car. We couldn't believe that. That was what happened. What happens to the energy? The energy all disappears. I don't understand. Either you have the energy or you don't. You see, what happens is as soon as your perspective starts to go from projecting good to projecting embarrassment or failure or frustration, as soon as the projection starts to change, or as soon as the memory starts to change. I remember it all for good. I guess I must have missed that. Or I remember that it was amazing, but I guess I wasn't as amazing. God forbid. As soon as something in your mind starts to bring out the negativity, what the negativity does is it starts to disempower. You can almost feel it if you're looking for it. What negativity does is it disempowers. It almost like sends a message to your brain that says, stop what you're doing, turn around. Your projection now goes from sunny to cloudy to thunderstorms. You're the same person. You have the same energy source. You have the same capacity for the next day. In fact, if you did something wrong, you have a higher capacity because now you have the wisdom of what to fix. It doesn't matter because the valves of your brain shut down your energy. It like you can feel the wind get pulled out. If you're like paying attention, you can almost, people say like it feels like they got punched in the gut. You can feel the wind been taken out of you. What is that? What is that? It's that your brain, which was projecting something positive. Now, where was your brain getting it from? Whatever, memory, what? But the projection of what's going to be, the expectation of something that's positive, was allowing the valves of energy to flow through. You were turning to your energy and pulling it out because you projected this is going to work, that it's going to be great. You were using a memory, but that's just a use. Who cares what you were using? But the minute somebody comes in and introduces something that's negative, what it does is it starts to, like, it's like a virus that circulates into your brain and it just disempowers you. It shuts you down. I want to just say a couple of things about this before we move on. Sometimes this happens once and somebody's out. God forbid. Like this happens. Someone will get up to, I heard from a woman, I'll never forget this. I forgot when, but she left me a voice note. I gave a talk on seeing the good in others. And she left me a voice note in which she was a drama head at her high school. She loved it. And one of her teachers never liked her. And before one of her plays said to her, like made a comment like, you're only here because your parents donated a building or something. Like something to the level of like, you're only here because of protexia. Like you don't deserve to be up on stage. And it may not even have been as bad as that, honestly. Like unless this teacher is like a psychopath. But it was something along the lines of you became drama head because of your parents. If I remember correctly, she has not touched drama in 30 years. Out. Projecting. Positivity. energy flow. Everything, all cylinders go. And then someone puts something in and all the valves shut. And you feel your energy drop. And like the crazy roller coasters of great adventure, you say, I'm never going on that ride again. And there goes your energy. All right. We're going to pick this up on a Friday. But where we're going to start to go is to understand that once you understand that your energy is here and all it is a projection, at least we can start to understand what it is that's changing our energy so that we can be aware of it, so that we can block it when it tries to shut it down. Okay, we'll continue on. Everybody, we wish everybody a Gmar Chatima Tova, a good year. For those that will be celebrating, you should have an easy and meaningful fast. We look forward to continuing on with God's help afterwards. So there'll be no show tomorrow, but with God's help, there will be a show this Friday morning. Okay, have a great rest of the week, and looking forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.